Today I'm going to unbag Norway 1940. This is the land, sea, air simulation of the Norwegian campaign during World War II. This is a PQ-17 expansion. It's not a complete game. Ownership of PQ-17 is required. The game designer is Chris Janiak. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And it's published by GMT Games, which were kind enough to send me this, so thank you there. Now, this, as I said, is an expansion to PQ-17, which is this game right here, which really dealt with the Arctic naval operations from 1941 to 1943. So a lot of this is focusing on the convoys, you know, the relief convoys and supply convoys, giving supplies over to Europe and Russia during World War II. And it's a unique game. It's somewhat involved. It's somewhat different than your traditional hex encounter game. As I said, it's focusing predominantly on naval operations, almost exclusively on naval operations, and it's got some interesting rules around that. So what this is bringing to the table, so to speak, is the Norway campaign, 1940. So this is just the rules and I assume counters that deal with that campaign. So with that, let's get, I'll move this over here so you can see it a little bit. Let's get into the bag here. As you can see there, get some stuff here. So interested into seeing what is in here. I was not, I didn't really know much about this and was not expecting this. You know, I've had PQ-17 for a long time. I can't remember when this looks like this came out in 2009, possibly. I got it sometime after that, this is it's a very interesting game and a very different kind of game, at least in my opinion. So what we get here is the playbook. Quite a large playbook, 36 pages with a concise summary of play on the back here. And this is typical GMT fashion. It's dual column. It's got play notes and design notes delineated or highlighted throughout. Here are the scenario rules. And so 36 pages, and we're really looking at the scenario rules. I imagine that this has the scenarios in it as well. So the first part of this is all the rules that are specific to the scenario, or the 1940 scenario. The rest of the rules of the core rules of PQ-17 will apply. Then we get into the scenario. So you've got 12 pages of new rules that are specific to this scenario, and then you get into the scenarios here on page 13. And I wonder how many scenarios you have. So you've got your Allied forces, your Axis forces, any special rules for that specific scenario. Again, you have some design notes in there as well. And then we go right on to the next scenario. So looks like there are quite a few scenarios in here. That's kind of cool. And then you've got an extended example of play. So that starts on page 25, and that actually might go kind of towards the end here. As you can see here, you've got images and examples in here, kind of like the extended examples of play or extended play. Then you got designer notes on page 29. So that's kind of cool. So you're going to learn a little bit about what they did specific, different in this, and what are the nuances to this scenario. Then on page 32, you've got the Norway 1940 index. So this is kind of a nice rules reference if you want to pull back and look at an index and go to the specific section that might be at issue. And then kind of a bibliography or partial sources at the back there. So there you have it. That is the playbook for Norway 1940. Then you've got, oh, so we got second edition rules of play. Okay, cool. So you're going to have a new rules of play here. So I imagine this will replace the ones in the base game. So that's kind of cool. You're going to get a whole new rules here. So let's see how many pages that is. That is 36 pages. Imagine how do they swing that. And you've got an index back here. And so 32 pages of rules generally. And again, you still have the highlighted sections. These look like the gray is optional rules, whereas before you had like the little brown or so is designer notes, and the gray is optional rules. So it looks like you've got about 28 pages of rules or so. But dual column, and it's color with some examples throughout there. So that's interesting. So if you're a PQ-17 fan, then you probably won't have the new rules out there. I imagine it's probably on GMT, like another living rules section. So you get some new counters here. This is a small counter sheet, kind of thin, but these look like these are just small markers, double-sided there. I wonder if that's like for landing forces or something like that. And as you can see, you have these really large, oh, so sorry, I picked up two at once. A little thin. I mean, I think this might be standard, but it just feels a little thin. But you've got these larger markers here, larger counters for the different naval units. And there. God, it's been so long since I played PQ-17. I think there's some hidden. I think you can use this side for trying to hide your task force. If I recall, I mean, I think there are blocks that represent the task force in PQ-17. As I said, I was not, didn't really know much about this. I just saw it not too long ago, and had not had a chance to get into it or research it or find out what are all the new and different things, and then it's on my doorstep. Here's your aircraft. They're circular. And again, double-sided there. So you get 3 counter sheets. You get, here's a UK port holding. A little bit thicker stock, almost kind of like a player aid stock. And then you've got German port holding. Small little things there. Then we've got some, looks like these are different. So you've got some player aids here. So you've got the Axis Norway random events table. You've got a special conditions chart here. You've got the Axis Norway Campaign order of battle. Again, good stock there. Also, you've got two of these then. Oh no, sorry. You get this is the Allied. So that was the Axis. Here's the Allied Norway random events table. I think this special condition chart is the same as what's on here. Yeah. You just have the different Allied random events versus the Axis random events. And then you have the Allied Norway Campaign order of battle. April 1st to June 1st. You've got a planning sheet here. Again, thick stock. So this is probably something you're going to want to laminate maybe, or make a copy of. I don't know if they'll have be able to download that off the GMT site. This is kind of your planning sheet and making notations. Then you've got your Norwegian Army mobilization and your coast defenses. Then you've got your Norway campaign display. So you've got the outline of Norway here. So I imagine this might be where you're keeping your land forces, because again, the PQ-17 core game is naval focused, and now we're doing some things on land here, I believe, for the Norway campaign. So that's probably where you'd be the holding boxes for that, and that's one-sided because that'll probably be on the board as well. So that is what you get in a bag of 1940 Norway campaign. So you've got counters that are specific to this campaign, to this expansion. And again, I imagine this is probably the ground forces that you might keep on that map. But again, I apologize for not having a chance to really dive into this yet, but this is, you're getting to see this the same time I'm getting to see it. How about that? So you're getting my initial reaction. You get a new rules of play. That's interesting. I might need to do a little bit of research to see what they did different, or what are the new, what are the different things they did or updated. Sometimes you see these and they're like, they might be annotated. I don't know if that is the case here, to tell you if what they've changed from different different versions of it. They do have some here. They have, if you have that little triangle there, rules that change in the Norway 1940 scenario, marked with a kind of an open triangle there, or caret, or whatever you want to call it. And rules that significantly affect play, not a clarification, are marked with a red caret or triangle, whatever you want to call there. And I'm not sure if they added in some of these optional rules, I have to look at the old rule book for that. So that's it. So you're getting a new rule of plays. That's kind of cool. And then you've got this relatively extensive playbook that really goes into a lot more. Again, I would imagine because you're going to be on land. It's not focused on the open sea. It's focused on the coast of Norway and some land operations, invasion, and the like. So anyway, that is what you get in a bag of Norway 1940. Land, sea, air simulation of the Norwegian campaign. Love to know your thoughts on this. I like PQ-17. It does not get to the table enough, or I do not get it to the table enough, because it is a little different. It is, it's not like overly complex, but there's some different moving parts there that take me a little bit of time to get back up to speed if I haven't played it in a while, and I have not played this in a while. But now I have a reason to get this to the table and get this played again, because this Norway 1940 looks very interesting. My first foray into that space was Narvik, the part of the Europa series, way back in the day, and it's one of my earlier war games, and it's my first, I think my first and only game out of the Europa series, and that really focused on this campaign, and mainly on the land side of things. And so this is that's always been kind of an interesting topic, and an aspect of the war that is not, the aspect of World War II that is not game to death, so to speak. You don't have as many Norway 1940 or Narvik games as you do, Bulge and Market Garden and the like. So, or even D-Day. So, this is an interesting topic, and it'd be interesting to see how they poured over a predominantly naval operation over into kind of a mixed land, sea, and air campaign. Anyway, love to know your thoughts on this, and let me know you stopped by. Thank you so much for stopping by, and the best way that I know that you stopped by is dropping me a comment. Tell me if you think this is interesting or not, if you know anything about PQ-17, and for you PQ-17 aficionados, please let me know what you think about this. I mean, you're probably pretty excited about this, because I think this is the first thing to come out, first and only thing I think to come out for PQ-17 in a long time. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. Have a great one. Thanks for watching.